So let's go over this. This is a 69 Mustang. Now, if I say what I believed it was and what it was represented to me as, is it was a Mach 1. It's like this. Nice Fastback Mach 1. Had a 351 in it. It's an automatic. Nice interior. Car's painted. No cancer that I could find. It was being stored inside. Was it perfect? No. Is it nice? Yes. And so I decided to go ahead and go through with the deal. We started heading home with it. We got it and the Cobra on. Well, everything was going fine and dandy until it started to rain. Spring showers, you know, heavy rain, short but heavy burst. So we start heading home. We're hauling rear, but trying not to speed, trying to protect the cars. But it's open, it's exposed. I'm like, no! It's the first time the Cobra's ever got a drop of rain on it, basically. But it wasn't bad. Got under some cover, wet out a little bit here and there, and we got it home. We've basically done what we can to it. Used it as a kind of a hood ornament for the house for a little bit, just for fun. Pulled it in and out. You know, it was just kind of nice. Washed it a few times. It was cool to have this thing and the Cobra sitting and the FJ all up on the front yard. And then the big F-Series trucks, you know, the F-150, the F-350, and the other vehicles across the line up on the front of the property. It was kind of fun. And take it to a car show. Well, that car show, we were having a little fun. And I had the Cobra sitting next to the Mustang, and we're in the back, so I've realized, by the way, if you're at a car show, you want front and center. You get the most attention that way, and you get the most trophies that way. I started letting people sit, and kids sit in this Mustang to take pictures and to, you know, it's a Mustang, you know, it's a fastback, it's this beautiful red and black car, you know, it grabs all this attention, and most people in this world will never have a chance to sit in one, drive one, own one, you know, so why not? I'm sitting there going, okay, well, you know, before the economy tanks on all this stuff, I should probably sell this thing, get what I can out of it, because I'm actually looking at moving. I really don't want to move it. I got too many things. Put the car up for sale, and I did it on a Facebook site, Fastback Mustangs for sale. Put it up, put the info I knew, okay? Put up a whole bunch of photos, put up the Marty report that I got on it, and just so that people could see the actual VIN number, information, production information, and know for themselves exactly what they were getting. As this ad is going, I start getting these kind of complaints. Informational is what I'll take it as. Learning. It had the wrong codes on it to be a Mach 1. Yes, it's a Sportback, Fastback, whatever, but not a Mach 1. So I'm getting a little frustrated. I'm like, ugh. So I decided with the new information I had, I changed the ad, removed the Mach 1 on it. I also thought it was a Windsor, 351 Windsor. Learned on that. Had a guy come by, look at it. We're talking about it. Oh yeah, spark plugs on a Windsor go straight out with the exhaust. I'm like, okay, well, this is a Cleveland. So I go ahead and I do a little research at this point, ask some questions. Like, okay, all right. Unfortunately, it was a clone. It was not a real Mach 1. And that really sucked for me. I changed the ad again. Changed it to a Cleveland. Put some notes on there saying, hey guys, this is where we're at. And I dropped the price because, unfortunately for my sake, it was not a Mach 1. Well, for everybody's sake, it would have been pretty cool to have it as a Mach 1. But it wasn't a Mach 1. So it was a clone. Get around to, I get the deposit. I'm like, okay, cool. I've got all the title paperwork. I haven't put it in my name yet, which I should have done a while ago. Would have found this problem a while ago. Ended up being kind of a simple fix, but just all day thing. All right, so I take the paperwork in because I want to make sure all my paperwork is in line for the guy that's buying the car. I want to make sure he doesn't have any issues and that there's no legal problems or anything else. You know, it's just easier that way to make sure the paperwork's right. So I take the paperwork, go into the state. State says, hey, everything looks great. Oh, except for 2 sellers back, these car dealerships, somebody didn't sign. They didn't sign as being the new owner, and they didn't sign as selling. I'm like, oh no. And this is back in like 06 is what I'm looking at on these dates. So I'm going a little bit out there. Come to find out, this dealership has been out of business for a long time. Like, that is not cool, because odds of finding a manager, owner, or somebody that has the authority or had the authority to sign on this is pretty slim. So I go back in, I get some paperwork. They're like, okay, go take these pictures, do this, do this, do this, do this, fill out all this paperwork, and maybe we'll give it to you. I'm like, oh. Talking to my wife about the whole thing. I tell her the name of the company. I'm telling her what we got to do, and she's meanwhile, she's already grabbed her phone. She's looking up online. She found the legal docs for this company and finds out one of the legally responsible people, we'll call it that, for this company. So she actually finds a phone number too. And the funny thing is, the guy that I got this Mustang from was actually a friend of his, and he was in the Jeep with him. I'm like, well, that's cool. Okay. So he's asked me how things are going and everything. No big deal. We had a quick chat. Then I hightail it back down. So after about, I think it was around 5 hours, maybe, yeah, it was about 5 hours from the first time I was in at the DMV to the time I'm back. I've got the paperwork in hand. I've got it signed, and I'm happy. I'm like, yeah, this thing's cool. My wife totally came through for me. So we get in there, get the paperwork down, lay it down. Most of that time, I'm like, okay, is everything right? And then it happens. He tells me my cost, what I have to pay the state to get the title on this thing. I was a little shocked. I was expecting a way different price. He goes, sir, that'll be $6. Like, $6? $600 or $6? He goes, no, $6. I'm like, here's a 20. I'm like, all right, so the car, it is a beautiful car. It's unfortunate that it's not a Mach1, but it is a great, wonderful Mustang. And we're going to have some fun, just fun memories, I should say. We'll have some fun memories, some fond memories of this with the kids. Now this is one of the hardest things to do, is climbing into this Mustang. Oh, it sure is fun though. All right, now. Nope. Dead battery.